Welcome to Thursday Flow, where we slow down for a few moments and realign with what matters most. Today I'm talking about something that has had a profound impact on my life. It's a simple idea, but one that can change the way we face almost every challenge. Now, have you ever noticed that two people can experience exactly the same situation, yet respond completely differently? One person sees only obstacles, and the other somehow manages to find a way through. What makes the difference? It's rarely intelligence, it's rarely luck, and it's certainly not because one person has had an easier life. More often than not, it's the direction their thoughts take them. Now, life has a way of throwing things at us when we least expect them. A bill arrives that we weren't expecting, or it's larger than what we were expecting. The doctor asks us to come back for another appointment. A relationship changes. A job disappears. Someone we trusted lets us down. There's a sudden death. None of us is immune from life's storms. The question isn't whether we'll face them. The question is what happens inside us when we do. Now, I've come to believe that our emotions are like the dashboard lights in our car, particularly the fuel light. When the warning light appears, we don't smash the dashboard or cover the light up because we don't like the light and what it's telling us. We recognise it's giving us useful information. And our emotions do the same. When we feel anxious, discouraged, or overwhelmed, these feelings aren't there to punish us. They're inviting us to pause and notice what we're telling ourselves. Because our thoughts create our emotional experience far more often than our circumstances do. Now, that doesn't mean we deny reality. If you've received difficult news, it's okay to feel disappointed. It's okay to feel totally ticked off. If you've lost someone you love, grief is natural and it has its own natural process and time frame. If you're facing illness or financial pressure, those challenges are very real. Positive thinking isn't pretending everything is wonderful. It's choosing not to let today's circumstances write tomorrow's story. There's a huge difference. I know this from personal experience. There have been seasons in my own life where I could have easily stayed in victim mode, in fear, in overwhelm. Divorce after 40 years of marriage, cancer, and the uncertainty that comes with treatment and progress forward. The questions that keep you awake at night. There were days I didn't know what the future looked like, but I realised something. Every morning I had a choice. Now, I couldn't choose my diagnosis. Yes, I did choose medical as opposed to natural therapies. And I couldn't choose every circumstance, but I could choose what I fed my mind. Would I spend the day rehearsing everything that could go wrong, has gone wrong, did go wrong? Rerunning those mind movies? Or would I look for one reason to keep believing that tomorrow could be better? That there was something in today that would make it even better? That there was something in today that would bring me joy and happiness, that would light up my soul? Now, that didn't change my circumstances overnight, but it changed me. And when we change, we make different decisions. Now, the change to me is a bit like brushing your teeth. You go through the process, but you still have to engage in the principles daily. It's like cleaning your teeth. You have to do it daily to stay connected. So when we change, we are able to make different decisions. We notice opportunities we would have missed. We certainly become kinder to ourselves. because we understand ourselves a whole lot better. And we keep moving forward instead of giving up. Sometimes slowly, sometimes fast, sometimes with a lot of effort, sometimes it's very easy, but we do keep moving forward. So think about climbing a mountain. If all you do is stare at the summit, it can feel jolly well impossible. But if you simply focus on taking the next step and then the next, and eventually you look back and realize how far you've come, and life is exactly the same. Most breakthroughs do not happen in giant leaps. They happen in tiny choices made consistently. Now imagine receiving an unexpected bill. Immediately your mind says, "Oh my gosh, I'll never be able to pay for this." Then another thought arrives. Everything always goes wrong, one bill on top of the other. And another thought, "I'm never going to get ahead." Notice what's happening? The original problem was one bill. And within 30 seconds, your mind has convinced you your whole future is hopeless. You've dug yourself into a rabbit hole, as one would say. But has anything actually changed? No, only your thinking. Now imagine interrupting that spiral. You take a deep breath. You remind yourself, I've solved problems before. I don't know how yet, but I'll find a way. What's the very next thing I need to do? Perhaps it's making a phone call. Perhaps it's creating a payment plan. Perhaps it's asking for help. The problem hasn't disappeared, but you've stopped giving it control over your thinking and you've taken charge of the situation. I often say that confidence isn't the absence of fear, certainly not. Confidence is learning to move forward even while fear is sitting beside you. Resilience isn't pretending life is easy. It's refusing to let difficult moments define who you become. Inner strength grows every single time we choose hope over helplessness. Every single time we choose to be the victor over the victim. Every single time we become aware of where our thoughts are taking us. And an interesting quote that has just popped into my life: you can't stop the birds from flying over your head, but you can stop them building a nest in your hair. Negative thoughts will come. They come to all of us. Sometimes thick, sometimes fast, sometimes just floating by. So the goal isn't to eliminate them. The goal is to not invite them to stay. Notice them, question them, then gently replace them with something that serves you better. I've learned something else. Actually, I've learned lots of things along the way. Our minds believe what we repeatedly tell them. If every day we tell ourselves things like, I'm too old, it's too late, I've missed my chance, I'm not good enough, I'm not well enough, eventually we begin living as though those things are true. But if every day we remind ourselves, and oh my gosh, this has been so important to me through this journey of healing from cancer. If every day we remind ourselves of what we can do. So for a little while there, I was focusing on, woe is me, I can't do this, I can't do that. And then suddenly, I teach this stuff. I realized, actually, Margarita, you are walking around. You are able to do your chores. You are able to get out there into the sunshine with your animals. You are able to move about. You just are not riding at the moment. And my choice there is, rather than saying I can't ride, I have chosen to refrain from riding until such and such a time. I'm in control of that choice, not the cancer, not my health. Me, I am making that decision. So if every day we remind ourselves, I'm still growing, I'm still learning, my best chapter is ahead of me. slowly something begins to shift. Not because life suddenly becomes easy, far from it, but because we've become stronger. We look at life differently. Perhaps today there's something weighing heavily on your heart. Maybe it's your health, your finances, a relationship, your happiness, your confidence, or perhaps you're simply exhausted. Can I encourage you not to solve your whole life today, but just to choose your next thought carefully? Choose one that gives you courage instead of despair. Choose one that opens a door instead of closing it. Small shifts in thinking create big shifts in living. And I'd like to leave you with this thought. Your future isn't created in one dramatic moment. It's created by the thousands of small choices you make every day, compounding. The thoughts you repeat, the words you speak to yourself, the hope you choose to hold on to, regardless of your current circumstances. One thought at a time, one decision at a time, one step at a time. And before you know it, you've become someone stronger than you ever imagined. So I'm going to leave you with this one reflection question. What is one thought you've been holding on to that's keeping you stuck? And what could you replace it with today that would move you one step closer to hope? With heart, until we meet again, Margarita.